Join us on another adventure with Wild and Free,
Interior Alaska.
In this phase, we take a look at all the work that we have to put in when we arrive at our cold 20 below cabin to get it up and running for the weekend adventure. So this is just the first day out there, taking a look at everything involved on life off-grid.
It's a little brutal out here. It's 5 below, not so bad though. It's forecast to be 35 below, a little bit more north, and it was, but not bad here, so we're gonna go for it. Say hi! Not bringing out a whole lot this time. We have another futon here.
Save you the excess wind noise, but we are bringing out this futon and a relatively light load in the daylight.
And it's pretty beautiful other than the wind and the drifts. So these drifts are usually just a few hours in between DOT passing, so you can tell it's been quite windy. But we're gonna do this. So it's very deep through here. He just kind of made the trail, but I didn't have enough weight, so it was just pulling me into the deep powder. So I had him come back to get it back on track before I buried it over there. But we had a significant windstorm and it blew all of the snow down here into the valley, and it just gets deep. If you can kind of hear in the distance, he disconnected his trailer because it's been so windy up here. They had like 50-60 mile per hour winds in the area. Actually, it's really unfortunate. That's right after we left New Year's Eve weekend, and the road that we travel on got blocked with 10-foot snowdrifts, and a couple traveling through back from a little town of Circle to Fairbanks got stuck and stranded at Eagle Summit. And unfortunately, they didn't make it out of there. They passed away, and rescue efforts took like 3 days before they could even get the road cleared and get to them. So as a result of the intense wind, and there was a little bit of snow, everything's just a little bit squishier and deeper. Not so bad right here. It's actually kind of cool out of the breeze here. But with that, because we know at the top of this valley, so it's half mile straight up, climbs the valley up to the mountain ridge. As soon as you come out of these trees, we tend to get stuck there because it drifts hard. And instead of getting stuck and then trying to get out with our sleds, which is always difficult, he decided to disconnect and go all the way up to the top of the ridge, cut in a trail first, so that hopefully we don't run into issues as a result of towing, weight behind us. So both of our dogs weigh around 80 pounds. They're in that crate. So it's a decent load behind my sled for me to counterbalance. So, that weighs more than me putting weight on the front. And then I have my son sitting on the back as well, adding weight. This one's not as heavy of a load, but still just to be safe, because typically it's difficult. That way he can hopefully do a little bit of mountain riding in a utility sled and clear the path. So let's hope for some good news and smooth, easy going out here. Not so bad right here out of the wind though, so that's a good spot to stop.
All right, so I disconnected the sled. I went and ran a line up and back. This is historically our hardest area. It's about a half mile all uphill. It gets pretty steep. Wasn't too bad going through there. There's a few spots. It's a little tight because the snow drifted onto the trail, and the trail's kind of cut out with banks on each side. Should be fine through there, I think. The interesting part is when we break through the tree line. Once we get up into the elevation, there's a pretty big drift. It's wind blown, it's hard, but we'll see if we can do it without, or with the trailers attached. Hopefully so, because if we get stuck there, it always turns into a nightmare. I tried to beat it down as much as I could with my feet and whatnot, and I've been over it twice, so I'm gonna hope for the best. We made it up out of the valley, no problem, luckily. We're on the high ground now. You can see it's windy now. It was really windy last week. This mountain was covered in snow before. but there was 60-mile-an-hour winds. You can see it's all bare now. The ground up here, a lot of bare spots, a lot of wind blown. I don't even know if you can hear me, it's so windy, but it should be pretty easy going from here. It usually is, especially doing it in the daylight, being able to see.
I know the wind noise is not ideal and the audio isn't always great, but essentially, just keeping it real, we did make it up out of the valley and everything is extremely wind blown, as you can see, so much so that it's blown off the tops of these ridges here. And from this point forward, it should be relatively smooth moving forward, but time will tell on this adventure.
So we're almost there. As you can see, this is going forward on the trail, and there is just absolutely no sign of the last time we were out here. With fresh snow and the wind, it would have been very difficult to do this at night.
So we made it out here. It had to be super windy because our shovels were down there, gas cans were down here. Just like this insulation over here has blown out from under the cabin, and the trail was really rough with drifts that it was like hardly recognizable. And then, of course, we've had no problem leaving other things out here that we knew would freeze. However, RC Cola, do not advise it. Yeah. So that's going to be fun to clean up.
Yeah, once it melts, too.
Yeah. Yep. So that'll be exciting.
Kind of looks like throw up.
Note to self, don't bring out soda and cans anymore. Yay! Okay, so he's going out to set 2 traps. That's a grouse that we had and we had saved. And we were done with it so that we could use it on a trap. And so he set 2 traps while we're out here. So he split it into 2 pieces. So while he is out setting the traps, I am going to take care of some stuff in the cabin, like stock the wood, keep the fire going, and fill our refrigerator so that everything stays cold. And how we do that, we get some fresh snow out here, and we fill our cooler little ways with snow, and then simply just stick our cold food that we brought with us in there. And because it's in the coldest, one of the coldest corners of our cabin that's not near the heat source, it actually stays frozen in here the entire weekend really nicely. It's about 4 p.m. We got out here around 2:45. The sun's going down, so it'll be dark soon, so try and just take care of a few chores.
In addition to filling the cooler with snow in order to keep our cold food cold, I also need to get the firewood from outside into the inside wood holder next to our wood stove using our Cougar outdoor bag so that we have a nice big supply of wood to keep us warm throughout the night. Our wood stove unfortunately requires us to fill it several times throughout the night in order to stay warm.
Another thing that we need to do when we get out here, and usually it's dark, is fill our lanterns. So our lanterns, they're Coleman dual fuel. So we prefer to use gasoline because we don't have to worry about it freezing like our propane.
This can be a bit of a tedious process using the funnel that's provided with a Coleman lantern. It's very hard to see how much is going in.
It doesn't take a lot, but hard to see.
So filling it involves trial and error, putting some gas in, seeing where the level is, and then doing it again until it comes up to an appropriate amount so that you try not to overfill it.
Alright, we'll let it sit and evaporate.
All of the chores to get the cabin up and running was perfect timing, as you can hear with Cameron getting back from setting the traps.
Hey, what'd you make, Critter?
I made a #1 fan symbol with a hand-shaped piece of wood, and I wrote #1 fan on it with a crayon.
Wait, let me see. Hold it still. I don't know. Oh, yep, you can kind of see it. Look at that.
You can have it if you want, Mom.
What do you make, Camden?
I made like a gun that aims on the side, and it actually aims, and I stuffed sticks in with usnea to keep it from falling out.
Good job.
I give them
Okay, check it out.
this.
Oh, look at that. You got some little crosshairs in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. Nice work.
I also made a grenade. So it's basically like that.
I made a rookie mistake and did not empty the dog's water before we left, which I always try to do. Yep, it's over there thawing. And turn it upside down so that I can refill it. So I forgot to do that, so it's frozen solid. It's 20 below outside. It's just taking a little while to warm up in here, so it's going to be even longer before anything melts. And our water on the way out, that jug, it freezes. It's not thawed yet. Dogs are super thirsty, so snow in their bowls. We're going to turn the snow into water.
Pretty easy to do.
And a few moments later, and we have happy dogs with some slushy water. We learned a few lessons. Always bring out an Nalgene bottle turned upside down full of water so that you still have a quick source to get enough water to make dinner. Woo! And there, I did it. Our noodles are ready.
Can I have one? I'll have one.
That'll smell good.
That will smell good.
I'll have one.
All right, never a dull moment, that's for sure. We just tend not to show you all these things. But lucky enough for you, you'll get to enjoy that. All right, so as clean as can be. Noodles are finally ready. And we have ourselves some ramen on the wood stove. Like I said, still very important thing to use is our wood stove, after all. Alright, so I let the dogs outside because we are not about that walking business. It's too cold for that. We have these anchored to the deck out at the cabin. Bring them inside and hook them up. And they go out, and I like to give them a little porch light out here so they can see and hang that on the door. And that's how we do our dogs. Okay, while the dogs are going potty, you'll notice my phone is actually flickering because just in a few moments out here, sitting at 20 below, really difficult and strains the phone, but it's 20 below out here right now. And letting the dogs go out and go potty. Come on, babies. Come on, Tundra. Come potty. Tundra's not about it. You want to let her in? Alright, go on a walk with me to the outhouse. Tried to beat down a path earlier. You can see so that I can wear my slippers out here. In the night. Oh yeah, so our significant windstorm blew some wind in. But first things first, you gotta use your blue phone to do that. You open it and then you set it on. Also, just so you know, like a champ, so the gendarme of the frozen poopsicles in here earlier, before anybody used it and everything is frozen solid, I took the opportunity to use my boot and kick it and break it over so it's more spread out so we have a little more room. Yep, fun fact. On the way back from the outhouse, it's 20 below. I'm going to turn off my light. Okay, And I'm gonna try to film again so we can check for lights. It's hard to pick up because I don't have like this whole night mode and video figured out, but you see all the green sky? Yep, that's the Aurora. It's out. We'll go take a look from the other side. All right, let's go see what that Aurora looks like before we go inside from on the deck. Yep, it's a little chillier today. All right, let's turn off our dog porch light that we hang right here. All right, we'll film. It's my breath. There's the Aurora in the sky over there above some of the mountains. I don't know if you can see all the stars in the sky, but yeah, well, it's getting cold. I don't have gloves on. Oh, here's an Aurora coming up over here, so I'm gonna go warm up. Let's see how warm it is inside. All right, taking a walk back inside. Remember, it's 20 below out here. Been out here a few minutes. Don't have gloves on. Like to go warm up. Take our little lantern for the dogs. Whew, I can tell you, I can't see because my glasses are fogged up, so bear with me while we see how warm it is inside. I cannot see through these glasses. All right, it looks to be about 70, I'd say, 70 in here. So that's pretty good, and I think upstairs it's about 83, they said. They're getting ready for bed. So we're lighting our candle, which is our nightlight at bed, but I just wanted to show you some of this beautiful artwork from our window that it left here. Like, people pay good money for this. We just get it for free on our Frozen Project Source windows. Couldn't ask for more. You got it. So you heard him trying several times. That is the downside, is that lighters do not like to work in the cold. Even when we've been warming them for a while, they still struggle to start. But night light is lit. Lanterns are gonna be all turned down. Dogs are finally getting more and more water over here. It's still very frozen, but hopefully leaving it by the wood stove, it'll help thaw. Reese is having his bone at bedtime.
Thanks for joining us.
Give us a like and subscribe and follow for our next adventures on Wild and Free.
Interior Alaska.